everybody. Just me tonight. Man, here we go again. I'm really zoomed in. It's too close to me. Oh god, we get closer. There we go. Oh gosh, guys. Yeah, this is bad. Any, I'm, I don't want to say that I'm panicking because obviously this, as a Timberwolves fan, this is quite regular. And I think before I go on and say everything that I'm going to say, because I am frustrated tonight. I'm quite frustrated tonight. Um, I do want to say that we are down D'Lo. Not that he is like the difference between us and a championship, but he is really a big upgrade to like Patrick Beverly offensively. Um, there's one. Two, we are playing the Clippers, even though they don't have Kawhi. They are probably a lock for the playoffs. Not probably, they are a lock for the playoffs. So those are the two things that we have to say as our excuses. Oh, and then third, tonight, the refereeing was pretty suspect tonight, but I think we just have to kind of adjust to that because it happens to us on a regular basis. But those are the only pieces of credit that I'm going to give. 4-game homestand, we lost all four. Did we really lose all four? Oh my gosh. I didn't even realize that we did. Oh my gosh. Cass got next. We lost to ourselves again. True. D'Lo sits out with an ouchie. Yeah. Well, it's a sprained ankle, so either we're not making it out as serious as it is, or this is like, why are we sitting? What are we doing? We gave the Clippers a chance to get more wins and be on the plan. Yeah, I think, man, it's just, this is just overall disappointing. I'm not fully in panic mode yet, but trust me, I'm ready. Cat was crying? When was he crying? Was he crying in the post game? We could watch the post game interviews. I didn't know that. I've been busy coming back from the game. Is he really? Somebody confirm that. I see you just, I see Cass posted him and Towns. Oh, jeez. Oh, I just retweeted that. That's crazy. Yeah, we did boo at the end of the game also. This is bad. So what do we do? What do we do from here? Because, I was talking with a couple people on Twitter. JJ was one of them. If JJ, I don't know if you're here, but I was talking to you a little bit and some others. But what do we do at this point? We do cry, but you know, I think we've had long enough that we should be looking good. Given, I keep giving all of these things. Poor cat crying in his mansion. Hope nobody goes on his Twitter. Okay, we have to discuss that too, because Cat's whole Twitter thing is a fiasco that I think is just the new way of PR and managing of players. I think 100%. There's no chance that his account was hacked to like some random account. Sorry if you're watching random account, but random account that says free cat. What I truly believe happened in that situation is that Chucky got his phone, is logged in as Cat, and he's liked stuff like that before. Like he's like Cat's biggest supporter, so he's gonna like stuff like free Cat. But I don't necessarily think that. But I will say that I even posted this on Twitter in one of our shows. I said Cat looks like he is stuck and like he is not freed because he is trying to control his emotions. He's trying to control his body language, all these different things that people harp on him about. But man, I think it's kind of true. And we're only 8 games into the season. We're 3-5. I thought we'd be 5-3. Ashwin the other night said that his finger was on the panic button, but not pressing the panic button yet. That panic button for me is now halfway pressed down. It has not registered yet that it is a panic, but it is in a downwards motion. Cat was capping like crazy. Yeah, 100%. Wolves Twitter is in full panic mode. I already saw people leave the fan base. Yeah, I mean, I think it's one thing to keep in mind is that a lot of these Twitter people that are out there are quite young people, and I know some of you are probably quite young as well. Um, so there are the Timberwolves faithfuls. I guess I'm probably one of the older Timberwolves fans, but it's. I hope Cat leaves the sooner the better. Time to start the rebuild. Godfrey, I agree. I think here's my controversial take. You know, we have hinted at this. We have talked about this in the past. I just think that we are at the point where it doesn't make sense anymore. And I'm not saying that we can't go on and finish the season 500. I think it's still possible. And I obviously think that Cat is a very talented player. I think he has the ability to be a top 10 player in the league. I really do. Maybe even higher, But there are things that he can't control. And I don't mean that they are out of his control. I mean that he refuses to either fix or he just can't. And some of that, think of all the times tonight. Now, again, I was at the game, so I might have a slightly different perspective than those of you on TV. Maybe Jim, Pete, and Dave talked about some things. But Cat and his inability to be able to realize that he has 3 defenders on him and pass out is a problem. Also a problem, for Cat's sake, is the fact that our players are not moving when he has the ball and there's 3 defenders on him. So there's two ways there. But, top players in the league make it work and they find out ways. And I think it would be better if he was someplace else. And if we have to choose between Ant and Cat at this point, we've had Cat for 7 years. I don't know. All of this has to come with a little asterisk, as we just had a bad loss after 4 losses in a row. So I am down right now. I am down bad. But I have said this before. I'm kind of ready. I'm ready to make Ant the leader. Yeah, Lil Mac was not doing shit tonight. But I'm picking Ant if I have to choose. 100%, exactly. And that's like the situation we're in right now. We have to choose between Ant, a 20-year-old who is obviously going to be the face of the franchise, obviously. But at the same time, Cat is like a generational talent. I don't know what the trades are. I have many ideas of trades, but people don't like when I start to get specific on trades because then they start to say that I can't get certain returns for things. Sons. But yeah. I'm going to catch up on chat. What is everybody saying? I hope Cat leaves. That's what got me going on a tangent. Annie Oops says better get a huge package. I don't think you will. I don't think you will get a big package if you were to trade Towns. And if you're just joining now, and you're just obviously this sounds crazy. I'm not saying that by the next game we need to be doing something, but I'm more so just looking into the future, because right now it's hard to see how we do with this team, with Towns and Ant and D'Lo. It's hard to see where this goes. And we certainly can't get Ben Simmons now. There's no Ben Simmons situation going to happen. What are we going to do? Give up 4 picks? We can't do that as a Minnesota Timberwolves. We can't do that. They're not going to take Beasley. They're not going to want to take Jaden. Got to get somebody like Marcus Smart. Yeah, I mean, seriously. We are going to get, I think at best, you're either going to get somebody. Okay, you guys are going to have to hear me out because I know everybody hates this. And I really just don't care right now if you hate my thoughts. But imagine a situation you're not going to get more than a Marcus Smart and maybe 1 or 2 picks, maybe, because realistically other fan bases don't know Cat. They don't understand how talented he actually is. So in their minds, you're going to hear a lot of things like, oh, maybe we could trade, the Knicks are going to be like, oh, maybe we could trade him Nerlens Noel and maybe Obi Toppin or something like that. And then a second. That's what they're going to say. We're going to get something like Marcus Smart and picks. Or it could be something like, oh, he wants to go play with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton doesn't want to play on the Suns anymore. So we swap for Ayton and maybe a pick. Maybe. Those are kind of the opportunities that you would have available to you. Unless I mean, maybe there's a bidding war that gets another player involved, but I just don't see that. I just don't see that. Do you guys think something different? I mean, I don't. I don't see another situation in which we can move forward this team. I mean, this is a bad night. And I think if we have to choose between Ant and Cat, I choose Ant. He's 20 and he already shows more promise. Yep, that's what it is. I still want to be positive about this season, but they are going to make me want to panic. And I think that's kind of where I am. I'm frustrated, so I'm voicing some of my opinions on what I think I want to happen again in the future. But I hope they do figure it out. I hope they do. I thought we'd be 5-3 at this point. I thought we'd be a pretty good chance for 500. And we're only 3-5. It's not like we're 1-7 or something like that. So I think we can. Exactly, Cass. It could be 1-5. It could be 1-7. It could be 0-8. So we are not in a terrible position right now. But I am a forward, future-thinking person, as in I want to know what's going to happen in 20 games. I have to get the trends, the emotions, everything like that. How does it feel like we're going to be in that amount of time? Right now, it's pretty questionable. It is pretty questionable. So I'm frustrated. Not that I expected. I mean, I don't even know. I don't remember what I expected to win out of these games. Probably 1-1 when we did the early season thing. But tonight's loss was pretty bad. 27 points in the second half. Yeah, and we only had 4 points for the first 9 minutes of the third quarter. Ugh. And also, we were up by 20. We were up by 20 in the second quarter. And I tweeted it out. I knew it was going to happen. These are the games where I wish that sports betting was legal in Minnesota, because I would just bet anytime we're up by 20 at the half, bet the other team. You will win 5 times your money. Easy. Every time. Because Vegas doesn't understand it yet. But we do have an opportunity. You see, this is exactly why. Then if you have an injury to D'Angelo Russell, or if you have a slide of games, you're not dipping below 500. You're going from a top tier team in the West to 500, And now it's terrible. Yeah, we did lose by 20. Oh my gosh, dude. This is so bad. Oh my God. This team. Well, we're going to do a tier list tonight. Also, but before that, okay, we got a couple things to talk about. So we talked about the cat thing, liking free cat, BS excuse. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's just, something's not adding up there. And I think I don't know. It's just BS. Also, cat versus Ant going forward. I don't know. D'Lo also being a missing piece is crucial right now. I mean, us missing D'Lo hurts badly. If we had D'Lo right now, we have a ball handler. Patrick Beverley is not meant to be a starting point guard. Yeah, I don't know. D'Lo, I have no clue what he was saying, but I posted it on our stream there. So I do think, and the thing about it is, when we're talking about Cat possibly moving at some point, I kind of like having D'Lo and Ant around. I would just, right now what I'm craving is a real center, like a regular center, where it's post up, rim defender, maybe is able to hit threes, but most big men are trying to hit threes now. Even Vando took a couple threes tonight, but obviously I'm not expecting the level of Towns' ability where he can drive and all these things, but I want a post up big so that Ant and D'Lo can kind of do their work on the outside and do a little just more traditional big man pick and roll kind of stuff. But it means Ubuntu leave. Oh, maybe. This is it's just crazy. What if we had a veteran point guard who could handle the ball, remains calm, gets guys in position, and move the ball? Sounds like somebody we traded to the Cavaliers for somebody who started tonight and actually did better than I expected. But that's not good. They shot 2 of 8. Taurean Prince. We could have Rubio right now. But at the same time, then it's one less shooter. Taurean Prince is supposed to be somewhat more of a shooter. Yeah, I do. I miss Ricky. He does better on other teams, though. I don't know. Every other team he's been on, he's been better. He just can't do it here. I don't know what it is. I think it's fans. I'm not blaming. And I said this last time, and everybody's like, "Oh, so we're gonna blame the fans for the game." No, but I think Target Center got louder tonight at times, but it is generally quiet because it is still not filling up, even though they gave away free tickets to almost all of these games. All these games have been free tickets, other than the Josh one, which was he gave me tickets because I won, but they have stopped giving out free tickets. It's gonna get bad. People are not gonna be in the stadium, man. Anyways, well, we're gonna move on to the tier list so I can talk about people individually and go from there. If you're new here, I've said this before. I've said this a million times, so I probably don't need to anymore. But this is where we rate everybody on tonight's game and tonight's game only. Here's the highlights, the lowlights. So, yeah, we'll kind of go through. The 3 did not play. D'Lo, sprained ankle. McKinley Wright, I don't know why he's out. Josh Okogie did not play tonight. And I kind of wish he would have instead of Taurean Prince. I get that we're trying to get Taurean Prince into the game and get into the flow. But what has he shown us right now to prove that there's any reason for him to be starting? I get, but we're also going against a playoff team, So what are we doing testing things like this out? I guess it's early season, whatever. Maybe this is a bad excuse. Anyways, like we did the other night, we're going to be pretty quick with some of the bench players. So we had a lot of players get minutes tonight, but many had very few. Also, I'm just looking back at the highlights. We started the game so good. When we were up here 15-3, I was like, this is like a quality start. The Clippers were not playing well, but we were also playing good. It was just like the perfect situation. And it felt like, man, this is I kind of expected us to come back and win tonight. I expected us to come back and have a really strong game. And I was wrong. We were good for the beginning, but that's about it. Anyways, at the end of the game, we did get to see some bench players. We got to see Leandro Balmaro, Jake Layman, Nathan Knight. We got to see Jalen Noel a bit tonight. And those 4 we're going to kind of lump together because they were all kind of the same boat, Not much production from any of them. I think Balmaro looks really raw right now. He does not look NBA ready, which is funny because in his G League, which is not really NBA ready, but in the G League, he looked incredible, But then tonight, also garbage time, so it's kind of hard to do that. But it's time to rank Finch and give him Wancho. Honestly, maybe. We may give Finch a Wancho tonight. It's just weird lineups, At first, it was kind of interesting, and now that everybody sucks again, it's like, I hate it. I just hate it. But anyways, I think all of those players that I just mentioned, they didn't really give us much production. We also don't expect much from them, so I think they're all going to get C's. Sorry if the highlights go away here for a second. They most likely will. So who was that all? That was Nathan Knight, C, Jake Layman. This is no particular order, just, this is just what happened. And we're also going to give him a C, just nothing happened. So, okay. Oops, I got to click the highlights again to make them work, don't I? Maybe, yep, of course. Okay, let's see. He was very bad tonight. Yeah, he was very bad tonight and been disappointing this season. It's crazy because Finch, are we talking about Finch? Yeah. It's crazy because I said that in the beginning of the season he was going to be a top 3 Timberwolves coach ever, and right now it does not look like that. We can watch Ant's 40-point game. Yeah, we basically should. I mean, that 40-point game really, although Ant's had pretty good games all season, stats wise, and tonight was probably his worst night. Although he did have 3 or 4 blocks in the first half of this game. So, anyways, on to the next. Naz Reid had a pretty good night. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. 1 block, 3 of 6 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3. He did have 3 personal fouls and a couple turnovers, but also, you notice how Towns and the Wolves quarter by quarter scoring aligns perfectly? Interesting. I have not looked that deeply, but that is interesting. Our roster isn't very good. I'm more inclined to blame the players before the coach. I think that's kind of where I am, Godfrey. I have been not impressed with Finch yet. Other than, I mean, defensively, we have looked better, as you see us give a wide open pass. But I think defensively we have looked better, and I know that they focused almost, I think, solely on defense in preseason and stuff like that. So I do more so blame the players. I do think that our players are not good. Like, we need more out of Torian Prince. We need more out of, D'Lo has not been good this season, given, I mean, he's probably the difference between us being 500 and not right now. But, he has been a bad shooter this year. And all of our bench players, other than maybe like Vando, like Okogie has had like a game or two where it's been good. It's just rough. It was like 9 points a game in the first 6 points per game. And then second and third averaging 3 points per game in the fourth. Oof. Scoring in fourth. Yeah, it's weird. The Towns thing is strange. I'm not sure why it's happening. I don't know if it's like I don't know. It's just weird. But anyways, I'm babbling. Naz Reid, like I said, 16 minutes, 8 points. Naz had an okay game. Kind of what we expect. I mean, it was a good game. Nothing wrong with it. But our scoring goes off of what we expect, and we'll put him at the top of C for tonight. Let me know if you disagree, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah. Next up, Jordan McLaughlin. We're just giving him a C. Actually, I mean, like, it's weird because he comes in the game and he gets a bunch of assists, but he also took 7 shots and missed 6 of them. And overall, it just doesn't feel like it's really working when I'm watching. Maybe it looks different on TV, but I'm going to put him at the bottom C. I don't necessarily want to give him a D, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like Nas should have a high plus minus, but I haven't looked. He did feel good tonight when he was out there. He was a +8, so you're right. He was the highest in plus minus tonight. Yep, highest in plus minus. Naz Reid. But yeah, it felt like a good game from him, but it also felt pretty average. So, or maybe not average, but what I expect. So, McLaughlin, did I already rate him? Yes, I did. Next up, Vanderbilt he played 22 minutes, had 2 points, 8 rebounds, 1 of 3 shooting. He was -7. He had 5 personal fouls. Man, we had foul trouble. It was weird because it didn't feel like foul trouble, but everybody had fouls, like an even amount of fouls at all points of the game. So that's weird. But again, Vanderbilt with a ton of rebounds. That's kind of how this new system works. I love his rebounding, and that's about it. And that's about all I expect. I can't believe I'm going to give everybody a C. But what else am I to do? Seriously, though. I mean, we'll put him there. It wasn't like he was terrible. I don't remember anything too other than the fouls. But I didn't think it was like too egregiously bad. D tier 1 of 7, no defense. Hey, you know what? I'm down for that. I am down for that. I thought maybe people would get mad at me. I'm letting people dictate my chart. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm reading chat. Malik Beasley had another decent shooting night. He shot a lot, but he was able to make 6 threes. He's 18 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, 6 of 18 shooting, and 16 of those 18 shots were 3-pointers. And he was at -28. A team tied -28 for the lowest. And I'll let you guess who the other -28 is. Who do you think the other -28 is? Oops, sorry, the highlights are gone. I'll let you guess. But in the meantime, Beasley, I think this is okay. I think this is more, maybe we don't expect 18 shots out of him. Yes, you are correct, Godfrey. You win a virtual prize. But I think this. It's just more. I'm excited to see him start making shots, even if that means he's taking 18. And I don't know why, but every time he shoots, I just have this weird confidence that it's going in. I don't know why. I think it's just because that one game where he went off against the Clippers actually last year, and he hit 7 threes or something like that. Ever since then, I've just every three he takes, I'm like, yep, it's going in, and it never does. Other than tonight, he made 6. So, but yeah, I think this is kind of the game that we hope for. Maybe a little less shooting, but the same production scoring wise from Malik Beasley, especially coming off the bench, like 15-ish to 20-ish points on a really good night. I think that's not terrible. I think that's reasonable to expect from him. Beasley has the best looking shot on the team, 100%. On the bright side, we have the same record as the Blazers. See, that you could say that is on the bright side, but the Blazers don't look good this year. They look really bad. But the thing I will say is that I still believe this, that the Wolves and just the West in general is weaker, and even with this terrible start, I think it's still possible that we could sneak in. Unless we go on a skid like Carl was talking about the other day, where it's like, hey, this 3, 4, 5, 18, 19, 20 game losing streak, it could happen. It's the Timberwolves, but it shouldn't happen. And if we don't let it happen, we should still have a chance. But I'm nervous. But anyways, Beasley, we're gonna give him. Man, I don't want to give him a B. He shot so much, but he does look good. I'm gonna put him at the top of. Well, I'm gonna put him below Nas because I think Nas played a little bit better, a little bit more efficient with his minutes. Whereas, I mean, Beasley was just chucking the whole game. Although that is his job. So, apparently Ubuntu means something like humanity. Yeah, I have no clue. Interesting. I might take a break from watching this team, maybe check out someone. D'Lo's back. That's probably good, and I don't know how long D'Lo will be out, because if it's really a sprained ankle, some ankle sprains can last weeks. It's not like he twisted his ankle. An ankle twist is something where you're out for a game or two. If you're out for 3+ games, you're probably having a sprain, and that probably means weeks. So, I don't know. Anyways, that's the bench. We're on to the starters. We'll go through McDaniels quickly because he had 6 fouls tonight. Again, scoring-wise, he actually started off pretty good. Ant thinks he'll be back soon. He barely got hurt. Yeah, I didn't actually even see the injury, so I'm confused by it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Ant, I think just says things however he feels like when he's doing his interviews, which I love. But anyways, Jaden, 5 points. He started off the game with a 3 and a 2, I think. And I was like, oh my gosh, Jaden's going to be our scoring threat tonight. That's great. He's on my fantasy team. But he ended up just fouling like crazy. Some of them bad fouls, bad calls, and some of them bad fouls. But tonight, I think we can't really give Jaden a good score. I think he's probably a D. It's just, you can't take yourself out of the game. Because honestly, when he was in the game, it felt good. And his plus minus was 0. It's similar to Nas. When he was in the game, when Nas was in the game, things felt kind of under control and good. Plus minus isn't perfect for everything, but, I'm going to give him a D. I think this was a bad outing from Jaden. Can't be taken out of the game. And just bad fouls, just bad. Anyways, to the top 4 players, and realistically, we're just talking about Towns and Ant at a point, because Patrick Beverley and Taurean Prince almost had the same stat lines tonight in the same amount of minutes. They both had 5 points. Bev had 4 rebounds. Prince had 7 rebounds. Bev had 3 assists. Prince had 2 assists. One shot 2 of 6. One shot 2 of 8. So we're talking about like the same thing. I didn't realize Beverly fouled out too. Beverly fouled out. Prince had 3 fouls. This is a bad night. Wolves are asking a lot of Jaden. Please guard Paul George because we have no one else. This is true. Prince was bad tonight. And, I'm over it. I'm just over the experiment. I don't know what happened. Not that we were expecting something insane out of him, given we traded him for Rubio, and we got a second round pick along with it. But we expected him to shoot a little bit better from 3, and we also expected maybe a little bit better defense. And honestly, both don't look good. Both don't look as I expected. He's been bad for 4 straight games. 100%. The last couple games, the Magic game in particular, it was like, why are you shooting? Why are you doing anything? It clearly is not working. It's so frustrating. Oh god, I hate watching these highlights. Watching us lose these leads. Anyways, I think for both Prince and Beverly tonight, they were both kind of bad. I think they're both probably a D tier. I just didn't get the same energy that you expect out of Patrick Beverly. And Torian Prince, shooting wise, is still not good. I think Bev was better, and I think Torian Prince was just not good, and I think Jaden was still worse. Well, actually, you're right. So whoever said that, I don't know if that was you, Godfrey. Somebody brought up the point of it being the fact that he was guarding Paul George, which is true, and he did hold Paul George a little bit in the first half. But man, those jerseys look good. At least I really like those jerseys, and I'm gonna buy a jersey, I guess. But how sad is that? Anyways, we've graded both of them. So now we're on to the 2 top players. All right, strap in, everybody. Those jerseys need a matching court. True. Yeah, I don't know why. Didn't other teams do that, or were those just mock-ups? I don't understand. Also, why don't they play Jo? I know he provides little offensive game, but defensively, exactly. I don't get it. He's like Vando, which they completely sag off him. Yep. And it's funny because, we always used to complain about Rubio when he was first on the team and second time on the team, where it's like teams don't have to defend Rubio. They can kind of let Rubio do his thing on the Wolves. For other teams, apparently with the Cavs, the Jazz, everybody, he's a flamethrower from 3. But on the Wolves, you can kind of let him do whatever he can, because he's not gonna make shots. He's gonna do his weird bank shot for 2. You don't have to worry. And that's how it is with a lot of players right now. You don't have to worry about Vando, especially not from 3. You don't have to worry about Prince. To some extent, you haven't had to worry about Patrick Beverly. He made 4 threes in one game, and other than that, he's been a little cold shooting from 3 and just shooting in general. You've got McLaughlin you don't have to worry about. You've got Jalen Noel, who hasn't really played much. Going down the list, Okogie. We've got all these players that you don't have to worry about defending. So you can focus on Towns. You can focus on Edwards. It's just disappointing. We need the old Shep logo. I love the Shep logo. That's my favorite logo by far. 100%. At least Vando can crash the glass on missed shots. 100%. Also that I have to stop saying 100% after everything. I'm sorry I do that. But yeah, 100%. No, but Vando, his energy out there is insane, and his rebounding is insane for a team that does not rebound well. So many open looks to turn into contested shots at the rim. Yeah. Because we hesitate. Everybody's learning the D-Lo pump fake where he does this exaggerated pump and then the drive to the rim, and it's just terrible. I also think that these other teams are just more skilled. I just think you watch a team like the Clippers, they've got Reggie Jackson, they've got Paul George, they've got Luke Kennard, they've got Zubats isn't a bad center. He's not an all-star obviously, but he's good. Terrence Mann, as you see dunking below, he is an incredible talent, at least against the Wolves. But they just have really skilled players, and we have maybe not a lot of skilled players. In the beginning of the season, you were saying if things were going to work out, you kind of had to hit that parlay of everything going right. You have to have Jaden be as good defensively as he was last year and have some offense. Same with Okogie. Same with Vando. Cat's got to have a major year. D'Lo's got to have a major year. Ant's got to be way better, or take another huge leap to be in a serious conversation for something. And we're just not doing that. All things are missing right now. But we lost to the Clippers last game, but we lost to it tonight. We lost to ourselves. I agree with that. Like I said, without D'Lo, how many legitimate shot creators does a team? Only Ant. You could maybe say Jalen Noel, but it's I don't know. Some of these players, when they come up, in the G League, they look like insane creators, like Balmaro, Jalen Noel. They can kind of create for themselves down there. Here, it's like they're just scared. Like Jalen Noel was just like around the 3 point line. He couldn't pass to anybody. He was hesitant on everything. I don't know if it's just like the big lights, the big stage, or something like that. I feel like Minnesota can't be that scary of a place to play. But basketball is like an MMO. 5 DPS doesn't get the job done. You need a tank, a healer. Oh my gosh, Godfrey. I wish Ashton was here. He would love that analogy, I'm sure. I love that analogy. I don't even play MMOs, but that is so true. That is so spot on. You need that. And right now, we have all these shooters. We have all the shooters. We have some defenders that are good at, like, we have people that are good at defending. Ant's good at defending. Towns should be good at defending, and he's okay, but he definitely better than he used to be. Beverly's aggressive. I don't know if he's a good defender yet, but we just have a lot of the same type. We need different people, man. Guys, that I want to say things that I feel like I can't say because I don't want to get like not canceled. I'm not going to get canceled for saying a player that I want, but there are different centers out there, some that may happen to play for a team in the Southwest, maybe Arizona, that I think would fit this team better. But I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Anthony Edwards played 31 minutes. Ant doesn't look like himself right now. Okay, Cass, it's Ayton. I don't know. People don't like that move, but I think he'd fit our team better. And if we could also get something, tell me the team he's from. I don't know if Phoenix does it after seeing how easy it is to take Towns out of games. Maybe, but at the same time, if they're not going to pay Ayton, then he's going to leave. And I think him and Booker are buddies. They want to play together, Towns and them. I also think if the Suns wanted to go a little crazy, they could get rid of a lot of their important role players, like what is it, Malik Bridges? I'm forgetting his name now. I think I'm combining two people. And then, they have picks that they could sacrifice if they wanted to go all in on like a Cat, Booker, and who am I thinking? Ben Simmons or something like that. They could sell everything to go for that big three, which I do not believe in. I don't believe in that big three, but maybe they could. Just saying, it could be a weird 3-team trade. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. Okay. So Malik Bridge or Mikal Bridges. That's what I'm mixing. Like every player. You should tell Chucky Anthony that he spends his day bashing Wolves fans, making them deactivate an account. Yeah, Chucky was interesting the other day. I was confused by what he was trying to say on Twitter. At times he was saying that he was doing it. I think he was saying it sarcastically, like liking the tweet. I think he's sick of Minnesota. He says that he loves Minnesota, but I think that Cat and him and Cat's whole crew is sick of saying that they love Minnesota. Maybe they do actually like Minnesota, but I think they're sick of saying that and trying to prove that to fans. But yeah. Anyways, I know chat's a little behind, but rip. Wait, he really deactivated his account? What the heck? That's crazy, man. I just am over this team. I'm just over this team with Cat. Anyways, Ant, we're going to talk about Ant, then we'll get to Cat and maybe talk a little bit more about trades and stuff like that. But Ant, we're not trading. If we traded Ant, man, I'm telling you guys, if we traded Ant for like a Ben Simmons or realistically almost anyone, I don't know if I could stick with this team. I don't think that they plan on doing that, but if that were something that happened, these shows may be done. I'm just telling you. Chucky said to take Towns out of your bio. Chucky said to take Towns out of your bio. What are you talking about? Who he's talking about? You're talking about Wiggins' ass still? Hey, the in arena host just followed me. That Katie Andres? I'm not sure. It's the guy that deactivated. I thought you were talking about me. I was like, I didn't know I have Towns there. Anyways, Ant's game tonight. Ant did not look good. He was 7 of 22. He only had 17 points. He had 3 blocks, which was amazing, all in the first half. He had 4 personnel fouls. He was a +1 tonight, so another player when he was out there, it felt good. But I don't know. He just looks weird. He looks exhausted out there at all times. I don't know if that's just the way he plays, but it looks like he's a boxer that's in like the 10th round. It's insane. As long as they develop Ant into a more efficient scorer, I'm 100% keeping him. Yeah, but I think that's the issue right now. I think it's the issue between him and Towns. I think Ant is trying to compensate for where Towns is deficient in his decision making. So Ant is trying to make a lot of passes to players. And, right now we're having a little bit of a power struggle, which I'm okay with because, either these things need to work themselves out or we need to change. But, yeah, he gets hacked so often, also settles for... Okay, Ant settles for way too many jumpers when all of the drives tonight are beautiful drives. There were lots of times, though, notice this at the game. I don't know if you guys saw this on TV or if you were at the game also. Many times when Ant is trying to drive or they're setting up a play for Ant to drive... Finch is over on the sideline, like waving at people. He's like, clear the lane, because everybody's like in the paint. So Ant can't drive without all these bodies there, and it's too late, and then he has to take a jumper. Given, I still think Ant's tendencies in these situations are not good. He wants to take these step back jumpers, and he's just not there yet. I think he could be a good 3-point shooter, but I think he's such a dynamic driver that he needs to be doing that more. But let's see. Chris Finch on what went into the Timberwolves' offensive struggles. Too much one-on-one, 100%. Oh, I said 100% again. Too much ISO, terrible shot selection. Guys are just trying to do everything by themselves. Yeah, they are. Everybody's doing hero stuff. Everybody's doing just stupid stuff, Ant might be chucking, but it's literally because nobody is capable of creating a shot. True. Would you rather see Vando grenades at the end of the shot clock? No, but, Ant is sometimes providing those shot clocks as he passes last second. But, I'd just rather have a bunch of shooters around Ant. And I want Ant to be the primary ball handler, but maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe that's a pipe dream. But anyways, I'm going to finish up Ant so that we can get to Towns because everything's leading back to Towns right now. Ant tonight wasn't very good. We're probably no higher than a C tonight. The blocks help a lot because the blocks were really exciting, and defensively, I love Anthony Edwards. But 17 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. I mean, that's decent, but the efficiency's not there. Maybe a C. I think a C is fair. What do we say? C? I'm gonna do a C. If you guys you guys can change me. Oh, probably a D. Ant shouldn't be running the offense. We need a point guard who can drive and dish. Yeah. Is D'Lo that person? See, I just have all these questions about the roster. I'm thinking probably a low C, just because defensively he was somewhat there, and he was a plus on the floor tonight. But at the same time, it wasn't a good game for him, and we probably expect more. So maybe it is a D. Yeah, the efficiency's rough. We're going to go a D. I think we're going to put him at the top of D. But, yeah. All right, we're on to Towns. Put the lowlights back up. Towns, 31 minutes, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 1 steal, 7 of 11 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3, 6 turnovers, 5 personal fouls, and tied for a team high or team low plus minus in minus 28. Pretty bad. D'Lo's our only point guard who's running the offense, and he's still turnover prone. Yeah, exactly. Take me back to the Rockets game when we had those super high hopes. Yeah, he had 0 assists tonight. 0. And I think that's an issue. That's a big issue because you know what he's doing when he's not passing out to people? It's like I said in the beginning. He's taking on 3 or 4 Clipper defenders in the paint. What is he doing? Also, all these plays where it looks like he's getting fouled, he's not. He's really not. He's stopped complaining, but he's still looking like he's getting fouled, but he's not. They show the replays on the Jumbotron. Now, I guess you could also argue that almost every play in the NBA is a foul, but, realistically, he's not getting that much contact. He is just flailing, trying to get calls. That's not. Let's see. You get doubled 99% of the time and get no assists. Yeah, I would love to see Brooklyn D'Lo too. Yeah, no, it's not all on his teammates. No, exactly. There is some bit. There's maybe 5 to 10% on his teammates that are just standing there not doing anything. But he can pass. There's two, sometimes three people on him. That means that somebody's open. You can find that. And the weird thing is, and JJ, I know you're going to say this. In his rookie year, his sophomore year, his third year, he was finding those passes. He was able to do that. He was finding, when he was getting double team finally, he would find people. Now he doesn't because he thinks that he has to take it on himself. That's just me assuming what he thinks, but that's what it seems like. That's the only reasonable thing. He has gone backwards in that regard. Like, I'm just watching these highlights and just watching how lackadaisical it looks out on the court. I don't get it. I just don't understand. I am over the team with him. I think 2019-20 before injuries was his peak passing out of doubles. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, when he was a rookie, he was able to do it, which I was surprised with. And I remember saying to myself, I was like, "Oh, this is actually a good sign. Like if he can get out of double teams, this is great." Man, these I would be a very active GM because at this moment in time, I'd be exploring options. And I know people are going to be like, "Oh, you're 3-5. You don't need to sell on Towns immediately." This has been a trend for years. Yeah, exactly, JJ. He used to survey. He used to be so precise. Like he would take his time, be calm, collected, and now it's like he's trying to be some one of a kind, like Hall of Fame player, and it's just not it. If he would just play his role, I don't know if that's just not what he wants to do, not fun for him. It's just it's so frustrating. I just want to hate on Cat. He seems, yeah, you don't want to hate on Cat. I know he seems like a nice dude. I guess I don't know him personally, and it's hard to know because we've seen multiple versions of Towns. It's hard to know when you're actually seeing the real Towns. I think there's been very few times where we've seen the real Towns in post-game interviews. Because when he was a rookie, he came in and he said everything right. He said things how you're supposed to. Like if you're playing 2K, he's always choosing the right answer of what to say. He's never going to call out a teammate. He's never going to say anything. And then we started to see a little bit more like cocky Cat, but it was like cocky and politically correct Cat, where it's like he's saying the right things, but with a little bit more attitude. And then now we've kind of seen like weird mixes on like some nights where he's like truly like authentic and genuine, and it's like, oh, I can see him. That's the Towns that I haven't seen ever. And then the next game it'll be like he's back to saying like something where it's like, we've never seen you deliver on these promises though. Let's see. He can't create a shot anymore, so yeah. It's hard to win when guys can't play D and can't stop the guy at the garden. An elite catch and shoot guy who provides great spacing. What else does he bring to the table? Yeah, it's just tricky, and it's super frustrating because he is so talented, and I think there is the possibility of being a top 10 player in the league right now. I think that is, I don't know. I think it's possible. I just think that there's a lot of mental mistakes and a lot of things that he's taking wrong. The one thing I will say that's been good about him this season is his efficiency. He's shot really well. Tonight he was 7-11. He's had a few games where he maybe hasn't shot that well, but like overall he's taken very few shots, which is frustrating. But the shots that he has taken on those nights where he's shot few has been pretty good selection. So his post-scoring metrics have declined noticeably over the last years. Yeah, and this is another reason why I just want a traditional big that has post-up, because one, the Timberwolves crowd loves post-ups. It doesn't matter who's posting up. It doesn't matter if we're guarding the post-up. Timberwolves crowd goes crazy whenever that happens. They love it. So I would just love to have a big man that actually posts up and is capable of doing that. Now, Towns did have a couple post-ups tonight, but he struggled mightily with Terrence Mann guarding him. like they kept putting smalls on him, or actually we kept getting the switch, and then they would put a small on him, and he just couldn't do it. He's never been able to do that. Even when he was a rookie, he couldn't do that. Gobert basically the opposite player of Towns, and Utah wins, we lose. Yeah. That's why I think I've said this before too, and this is what I said a little bit in the offseason when I was a little hinting at my Towns wanting to trade him. You know, I just think you can't have a team around a big man. You have to have a wing or a guard that is the main player. Like, I think Philly is kind of experimenting with this right now. Obviously, it's chaos in Philly because Ben Simmons is not playing, but they have a weird lineup too because they have really strong players at almost every position. So it might work with Embiid being their guy, but I don't think, I mean, like the Anthony Davis days and the Pelicans, that doesn't work. He's an incredible player, but that doesn't work. Also, I don't really like his game either. I'm starting to think that I maybe don't like Kentucky players. Oh man, that karate kick to Terrence Mann. There was a part of me that enjoyed that just because Terrence Mann drives me crazy. But Ayton's in a rookie contract. I mean, what is he? Probably like 24? Let's see. How old is DeAndre Ayton? First name's DeAndre, right? 23. He's 23. So he's still young. Man, I'm telling you, I like that trade. Towns literally became Porzingis. Oh my God, don't say that. That makes me sick to my stomach. But it's true. No. But to get the grade out on Towns, I think this was, even though if you look at the stats, they're okay, I think this was a bad night. This is a night where he should have been able to do a lot more. He should not have 0 assists. He should not have 6 turnovers. He should not have 5 fouls. This is a bad game. Getting pushed out 19 feet by a guard. Yeah, it's unreal. It's unreal. I ain't that big of a... yeah. I burnt you burnt a card just because you needed something? I mean, true. Seems like him and Cat are cool, though. They were first, when Terrence Mann dunked it around Cat, he was like talking shit a little bit, but then they were like chopping it up back on the other side. I think, I don't know. But let's see. Towns also had 20-foot pass to himself. Oh my God, that pass! I was dying in the stands. I was like, "What are we doing?" Oh, that was like peak Timberwolves terribleness. Also, that was like at the time when we were down 20 again. It was just the worst. It was just the worst. The fact that the basketball gods let him get that back, I know. Oh my God, that was so funny. It was so funny. And then what happened? We gave it up, and then something ridiculous also happened. It was just a missed 3 from Beasley or something like that? Man, that was insane. That was almost, I mean, that should be Shaq and a fool. But anyways, this game from Towns, I'm going to have a pretty low grade. I think this was bad. You have to be better. We expect much more out of you. I'm not saying that we wanted to win, and we should have won. But you shook your head after that one. I mean, you know, it was a bad game for Towns. So I am going to give him, not Wancho. I can't give him Wancho. It wasn't that bad. But I think I am going to give him a D. I'm going to give him a D. I can't give him Wancho. It's too... Sorry, one second. I dropped my toy that I've been playing with. I've been playing with this the whole time because I'm nervous about the Wolves. I can't give him Wancho. He wasn't that bad. Yeah, nobody's B. I don't think anybody deserved a B tonight. I think the best players of the game were... Nas was probably up there because he had the best plus minus also. Beasley was good too. Vando. I think actually the order might not be wrong. I think that's probably pretty accurate. Yeah. I still am way more demoralized by that Magic loss because think of it. If we win against the Magic, we're 4-4 right now. And guess what? Sure, we lost to the Clippers twice, but the Clippers are a good team, you know. So. And that's the way the game went. The cookie crumbles or whatever. But bad game. So, next. I actually don't even know when we play next. Yeah, I think the rankings were all accurate. I wasn't even really paying attention to it that much. Um, who do we play next? Not that I'm excited about it, but we play. Oh, we play the Grizzlies at the Grizzlies. Yeah, honestly, JJ, that might be wise. I don't know if I would watch the next games. I anticipate losing every single game to the Grizzlies this year. They're just way scrappier than us, and even when we try, they still have more effort than us. Then we play Golden State. Wiggins revenge game. Nah, I don't think that'll happen. Wiggins won't go off for us. He is nothing. We're gonna clip that back. But then then we play the Lakers. Then we play the Clippers again. How do we play the Clippers this many times in 1 month? That will be stress free. Then you'll just get to see me be stressed. Then the Suns. The next winnable game, game that we should win, is against the Kings on the 17th, which I will also be at that game. So at least my Lakers take looks strong so far. I'm telling you. It's going to be bad for your mental health if you watch the next few games. Yeah, because think of it. So we're 3-5. We're going to lose against the Grizzlies. We're going to lose against the Warriors, probably. We're going to lose against the Lakers. We have no reason not to lose against the Clippers. We've lost every other game against the Clippers. So we could very quickly be 3-9. Oh, and then we play the Suns. We could be 3-10. If we're 3-10, we trade Towns, right? Yeah, and I mean, it's not. I mean, it's a winnable game, but will we win? Probably not. 3-5 with an extremely easy schedule, mind you. I think the easiest strength of schedule. It's amazing how there are these teams that are good and they're bad for a while and then get good again. Meanwhile, the Wolves suck forever. True. Yeah. Pretty crazy, right? You know, there's a part of me as a Wolves fan that is like, there's no way that we can suck forever. How long can you be bad? Will it be my entire lifetime? I'm 29, almost 30 in a month. I've been a Wolves fan for like 15 years. When does it get better? When? You know, we had one tiny bit of joy in that season with Jimmy Butler, which I hated, by the way. It was not enjoyable in the slightest. The only enjoyable moment was winning one playoff game. That was super fun. Off Night is a cool nickname, though. Let's see. Davion Mitchell gonna lock everyone up. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I have nobody. I have no clue who's on the Kings. No clue. Harrison Barnes. No clue. And the Minnesota Winter is coming. Yeah. I would feel a lot happier if I was still living in Seattle right now. Man, A-Rod's really going to move the team to Seattle, and then they're going to get better. And then I'll still be a fan. You guys going to jump ship if they move to Seattle? You guys going to come with? Hey, I'm down. Well, I think that's pretty much all I have. If you're new here, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up. Makes us feel better after a loss. I don't know. Did we make it to 50 subs today? I don't think so. It is still the same team at heart. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, so if you're new, give us a sub. A Bucks fan, I don't know why. I just don't care about the Bucks. I don't dislike the Bucks. I don't have like a rivalry with them, but I just don't care about them at all. And yeah, you'll just wear like an NBA shirt. I could be wrong, but I think making the playoffs that year with Butler cost us Michael Porter Jr. True. I guess I never thought about it like that. But would we have chosen Michael Porter Jr.? Because he was kind of a iffy, because he was injured. He had his back injury. But I don't know if MPJ is making the difference. You know who I think would be making a difference right now? Evan Mobley. If we had the 4th pick or whatever the pick we were supposed to have in the draft, if we had Evan Mobley right now with everybody else that we have and no Wiggins, man. Yeah, Steph Curry can make a difference. Maybe. I still believe that if we had Steph Curry, it wouldn't. Steph Curry would be a nobody. Nobody would know of him. There is something strong in Minnesota. Some strong aura. Hashtag ad. Strong aura at Target Center that just is like a bubble of misfortune. We're one loss away from having Cleveland's odds. Oh my God, true. And we won all those games at the end of the season. Terrible. That really is. That's even worse. God. Jamal Murray instead of Dunn. That's a huge one. Oh man. There's a lot of could've, would've, should've's. Timberwolves. Now I will say Flip wanted to take Jahlil Okafor, not Karl Anthony Towns. How interesting would that have been? I would rather have a player like Jahlil, given he's not good right now. But and Towns was clearly the right choice. But I liked Okafor a little bit, and I wasn't like 100% on Towns. I was like 75% Towns, 25% Okafor. But I mean, I'm kind of down. Maybe we should try for Okafor. Anyways, okay. I don't really have anything else. I've gone over an hour. I guess I'll be back on Monday. I think I'll be back on Monday night. It's a away game, so I'll be on pretty much right after the game on Monday. Man, maybe we'll just start. I think what we're going to start doing, we're going to start playing some games with the viewers afterwards. We'll start playing some games like Towns does. I think that's what we'll do. I appreciate it, JJ. These solo streams are always a little different. Yeah, Ashwin had a gaming thing I think tonight. I can't remember, but he was unavailable, and he couldn't even watch the game. So I think he might have been available for the show, but he wasn't going to be able to really talk about it. So start playing on Mondays. Yeah, maybe we should play some games. What is that game Towns played? I don't know. We'll look up some games. Maybe we can play all together. That'd be kind of fun. But good show. I appreciate it. Good night, everybody. Had a great time talking. We're going to have the intro play us out once more. We will see you on Monday, hopefully for a win. Good night, everybody.